folks. Welcome to the next episode of the Snowy's Camping Show. Joined as usual every time by, well, not every time, but most times by myself, Ben, and Lauren.
I think there was one episode when I was off on medical leave that you did with Richard without me.
That's it. Otherwise, we're approaching 200 episodes.
I'm a bit sick of you.
Touché. Anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to us, you can do via YouTube, via your favorite podcast app. We're on Spotify now. I was going to say Shopify. We're not on Shopify. And you can join in the conversation on our Facebook group, which is called Snowy's Camping Banter. Now, as we record this, we're midway through our Black Friday sale. This whole Black Friday thing is massive now, and it just seems to be getting longer and longer every year. But I meant to get a little bit of tinsel or something in here to give a bit of a Christmas feel to it, because we reckon you should start thinking about your Christmas gifts if you want to be buying outdoor stuff from us, because very soon the cutoff to get it to you in time is going to pass. So we're posting this episode with some things that you don't reckon there's anything that you want at the moment except for gold. You're going to get goldfish, but we don't sell goldfish.
Majorly inspired this year. But I think, like real talk just for a minute here, I think that a lot of people I've spoken to aren't super inspired by Christmas this year. And I think it's just on the back of a couple of years, like economically and, it's a real tough time and a real weird time in the world at the moment. And I think from a lot of different areas. And so maybe it's the first time, well, not the first time, but the more and more adult I become as well, like the further away I get from being a kid. And I know in the past I've sort of maybe come across as a bit of a Christmas Grinch. It's not what I'm saying at all, because Christmas is an awesome time, right, to like spend time with family and like eat a butt ton of great food and, camp and Christmas to New Year's. It's an awesome time. But I think it's more so just economically, financially, being inspired for Christmas is a bit of a challenge this year.
It's a bit of a funny one. We're in that sales period that just seems to carry through to sometime in February when things stop, and we don't know what to expect. But
I think it is reflected everywhere. I think it is reflected everywhere, because I know, you get emails from other retailers in different areas of retail, not camping and outdoor, but all sorts, like clothing, shoe. It's just bombarded all the time. Like, it's obvious that compared to, say, 5 years ago, retail and consumerism and the economy is in a really different space.
Yeah.
Well,
we've got our sale on now. It ends on December 2, 2025. We're sitting in at the moment. We do have a sale each year. But it's we know we're trying not to bombard our customers because it is a bit overwhelming. And just a side note, I've just realised this is the first episode we've recorded since that damn ambulance station has opened right over the road from our office. So every time an ambulance drives out, we just get sirens in our ears and everything in the office stops. So one just went out. So if you
did hear that in the background,
ambulance in the background, you're just going to have to get used to it, because we can't ask him to relocate.
Yeah. Hopefully Larry can fix that up.
Hopefully.
But it's not just an ambulance station, it's Ambulance South Australia. It's like the main headquarters and a huge amount of ambulances.
The spot that ambulances pull out with their sirens on, because they're pulling out into moving traffic, is right across the road from where we sit. So so you may have to get used to a bit of ambulance noise in the background. Anyway, I didn't start our timer, so I don't know how long we've been, but probably too long again. But hey, we're consistent. Let's jump into some gifts ideas. So I've just chucked a heap of ideas here off of some of the newer stuff we've got, and kind of things that I go, look, wouldn't buy myself, but if someone did buy it for me,
you'd be all right.
I'd use it. But
and I've got my phone up if you're watching it. That's why I've got my phone up for product stuff as well, because I like to just have a look through as we're yakking.
So the first thing I wrote down, and this is because they've just been republished, is now BioLite, and they were previously known as they're Luci lanterns, and they were owned by another brand called Empowered or something. And now
in America,
BioLite has taken that over. They disappeared. They've reappeared as the BioLite Luci lanterns, and they're all available again on our website. So these are inflatable solar rechargeable lanterns. They've got string lights, which I think we've got a couple on the back behind us here somewhere. There was some hanging around. Little disc that they all roll up into.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say fairy lights. They're cooler than fairy lights because they're not fairy lights. They're string lights. And you can charge them by solar and string them around your campsite, just create a bit of ambience. Really good for the backyard.
Yeah.
And I've got the sight
Great
lights
waterproof
too,
ratings.
which you did the video for the sight lights. They're just little stakes you can put in the ground, like to mark your track to the toilet at night and that sort of thing. So kind of cool things that you can get by in a campsite without, but pretty cool if you have got them.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if it was in your kit, you'd use it.
Yeah,
just
for
because
sure.
it feels cool. So, and the inflatable ones are really good because they pack up so small. They float. Put them in your pool while you've got a party on if you want. Just float them in the pool.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they're actually.
I don't know.
How
Oh,
waterproof
look, do you know what? I'm actually going to look that up because I reckon you could because they're blow up. Like you physically blow them up.
I think
and
the
they're
electronics.
just like a pool toy and everything's encased within that little blow up bubble.
Yeah, one of them's got a built-in battery so you can charge stuff from it. And I reckon it's a pretty solid seal over the top of that. So you could float them in your pool. But Lauren will confirm.
I'm looking it up right now.
As I move on.
Sorry.
To Tiegear always seems to come up as one of those things that, I mean, we sell heaps of Tiegear stuff. You can look at it and go, it's really expensive for, have you got an answer?
Yeah, I do. IP67, which I'm pretty sure is submergible.
Yeah, so they're waterproof then. Yeah.
Yeah, fully waterproof. IP67 is ingressed water and dust,
like
1 meter submersion like for up to 30 minutes. So 100% you could chuck them in your pool.
In your pool. Yeah, there you go. And then when you're not using them, they pack up flat and you can put them in your cupboard. Yeah. So Tiegear, expensive guy ropes, expensive pegs, really popular, do the job really well, worth the dollars that you spend on them. Not something I would buy readily unless I kind of had a voucher or something to buy them with, or if someone.
You're talking about the Tiegear stuff?
Tiegear stuff, the guy ropes and their glow lights, as their glow string lights as well that are highlight the guy ropes.
Tiegear is one of those products which take normal everyday items that you can get at Bunnings for like $5 or whatever, but they increase the quality and they change the design of it in just very simple and clever, creative ways that makes it so much more functional and cooler, right? And so I think that sometimes when it does come to Tiegear stuff, people think, well, why would I spend $60 on something that I could get from Bunnings for $15 that does the same job? But and so you might not be able to justify that cost. But the thing is, if someone bought it for you or if you saved up and you invested in it down the track, then you're laughing. You know, it's like it sort of comes down to also the high turnover thing as well. It's like, I don't know about you, but I've often thought, I'll just get a cheaper version of something. And then lo and behold, you're replacing it then versus when you purchase something that's maybe a little bit higher price point and you've got it for years. I don't know. Yeah. And then also, sorry, I'm just yakking away here. There's also the mentality, rightly or wrongly, about how you care for stuff as well. I don't know about you, but I think if I purchase something that has a higher value, I often tend to be a bit more precious about it, a bit more careful about how I'm looking after it and whatever. Whereas if it's cheaper, don't care as much.
It's all replaceable, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tiegear fits that category where if you're kind of going, sort of get Auntie Elsie, she's into camping. I wonder what should I get her not to get? If you just got her some guy ropes or some Tiegear straps or something like that, guarantee she's going to be happy with them because they're going to replace something she's already got. Yeah. She's just going to use them. Like there's a whole haul out system. They're elastic straps. I'd use it. I don't need it. If I had it, I'd use it if someone bought it for me.
Is the haul out the one that you can crop?
They're
like the Oki straps that link, or is that the link?
The haul out is the whole system, but the links are those Oki ones that are sort of stretchy. They're really good, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I don't have it on my list, but if it was in my Santa sack in the morning,
you'd be really happy.
Use that. Yeah. Moving on from that, 12-volt appliances. Now, 12-volt, I did a post on this on Facebook recently and everyone jumped. It got heaps of negative comments, which is really good, thanks, because the algorithm loves it. About, why would you use 12-volt? You need a massive power system. Gas is best. All valid. Yep. You need a good 12-volt power system to run 12-volt appliances. Gas, arguably, is nicer to cook on. But sometimes you don't want to carry gas. There is a 12-volt option and it's expanding more and more. Right, just recently, between Hardkorr and Companion, there's a heap of appliances that have gone on our website, including a coffee pod machine, a kettle, which granted you're going to be waiting a long time for that kettle to boil because it's 12 volt.
Yeah.
So a gas hike stove is probably going to be quicker. Air fryers now. I haven't looked into it, but Hardkorr have got an air oven and a 12 volt oven.
They're both essentially air fryer type things.
Yeah, okay.
I looked into it, but they're both, yeah. And the thing is we've just got them into our range, but other retailers have had them for a long time and they're like 4.5 plus star rating. So, the feedback on them is excellent. It's
a slow cooking thing, right? Because you're cooking on 12 volt. Mm-hmm. You're not going to cook like you whatever phase it is oven you've got at home. It's not going to cook that quick. But if you plan your cooking, you can get really good results out of these appliances. KickAss have got some too, toasty machine, induction cooktops as well. We'll mention once again, you are going to need a good 12 volt setup and an inverter to run some of these things. An inverter if it's 240 volt. But if it's 12 volt, you're going to need a fair bit of battery power storage or a good solar panel to keep that power sort of charged up. But it's available for you. It is there.
Yeah. I think that the other thing that we probably need to think about, which we sort of are aware of, but maybe not the greater population is aware of, but the amount of younger families buying caravans is huge.
Since COVID.
I reckon if you go back 10 years, someone was calling you up because they had a caravan and they were looking for accessories or whatever. Bloody oldies, right? Mm-hmm. Old folks, retirees, wanting to do their lap, whatever, like 60 plus. Now I would say 50-50 between 30-year-olds with young kids and retirees.
Yep.
Like the amount, like my brother, for example, who's just turned 30, they're about to purchase their first caravan. They're having their first kids because they're planning to do a lap before their kids go to school and things get too wild. Like so many young families are doing, all you have to do is jump on Instagram and have a look at influencers taking a year off and whatever.
Yep.
So 12 volt appliances, they're not necessarily there for people in their four-wheel drives or camping out of their cars in tents to have a 12 volt system, They're there for people who are caravanning, already have solar panels, built-in batteries, inverters, everything.
Yep.
It's not.
Or you're in a caravan park and you've got power available to you. So
and you can just plug it in. Like it's not everybody is going to be traditional camping. Camping comes in such a variety of different modes these days. So there's 100% a place for the 12 volt appliances without doubt.
It's a good side note there that we have Snowy's ambassadors now literally launched yesterday, and one of those families, Wandering Oz Adventures, are doing exactly that. It's two of them, their young kid and the dog, and they were just slow traveling Australia with their kid.
Yeah.
I don't know what they use. We can find out. But in that instance, if you've got power and a good solar, you don't need to worry about carting gas around all the time. So.
And I mean, not everybody wants to have a pod coffee when they're in a caravan either, but it's like if you're 70 and you're retired and you've worked your ass off and you just decide you want to have a pod coffee every morning, like why shouldn't you?
Do it. It's available now.
Whatever.
Yeah. Moving on. Now these are new. Competitor to another brand that we won't mention the name, but the Coleman Pro coolers are heavy duty ice boxes and also soft coolers, but are really nicely made.
I was really surprised. I'm not going to lie. Coleman Eskies and coolers have been butt ugly for a really long time.
Well, they do a Glacier one that's got that outdoory look, but these
and they haven't changed. You know what I mean? Like they've not changed for years.
Yeah.
And now we have these Pro Coleman range that's come out, and it's like the Glacier one, which is like this beautiful off-white color.
Well, that's kind of glorified version of the old ones. It's not quite the same, but these blue ones,
the blue color is insane.
You like it, do you?
I actually do. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I
don't like the soft cooler bags. I'm just not a fan of soft cooler bags. No. But the actual Icebox, like the new blue Iceboxes, look pretty good.
And they're really well priced. If you're in the market for these coolers, the brand that we won't mention, check these out and compare the pricing, because they've tried and tested them. I did the videos on them. They feel really nice. The finish on them is nice. The lids are straight. The handles, if you put your fingers up under the handles, you can get your fingers right up underneath.
That's nice.
Your ends of your thumbs don't touch the top, so you can get a really good grip on it. the smaller one's got a shoulder strap.
I really like the one that has the wheels and you
handle's
pull
really
the handle
good,
out and you can wheel it along. Like so
and
good.
it's got handles that, sorry, I've just tapped my mug there. The soft handles kind of come up and they come up over the top. So you don't have to sort of pull it out the sides. And if you don't want them, you can just take them off. So anyway, probably raving about them, but they came out and we kind of went, okay, these ones are not just a Me Too product. Like these are nicely finished off products that they got locking mechanisms. The latch is really positive. The hinge has just got a single rod of metal between the lid and the body. It doesn't have extra hinges sort of screwed or what do you call it, riveted in the back. Really nicely made products.
It's nice to see from Coleman, isn't it? Like it's nice to see something a bit different.
Now I've got a Icebox that probably does the same job as that, but it's not as nicely finished off as that one. So if someone bought me that, I'd go, that's pretty sweet, and I'd probably end up using that.
It's like I just imagine it sitting on the beach. You know, it just would look beautiful.
It goes to the beach and then to the campsite. Like it's got that look that goes just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Expensive end of things is a new brand to us, and I've just done the videos on these two, and I was really impressed. But the Cybertake air conditioners, now we're talking $1,000 plus for these things. So it's going to be a really good friend that you're buying these for. But I just want to give them a mention because if you...
Or even like a group present, like maybe if you've got, you know, like... Or kids chipping in to get presents, retirement, Christmas presents for something for their parents, or who knows, or vice versa, wedding, who knows.
So there's two models, the S1 and the S2. S1's just cooling, S2 is cooling and heating. I just did the S2 video yesterday. One of those products that you use it and it just does everything that it's supposed to do well. There's no clunky like, how are we going to work around that? Or you've just got to kind of twist this here and do this. Like it just does what it says it's going to do. I had it running in the store, granted, pumping air into a rooftop tent, and I was measuring 11-degree air coming out of the pipe, the ducting coming from. So that was probably a meter away from the unit, and it was 11-degree air coming out with it running on full, and it's pulling probably 300 to 400 watts at that point. You wouldn't have it running at that much all the time, but it does really good job. You can put it inside and outside the tent. It's water resistant, so you can leave it out in light rain or sort of frost is going to be fine, not heavy rain. Like
morning dews and things,
And it's not very noisy. I think I've seen 40 decibels written in some places, but we've said 55. But it's got this kind of hum. It's not that noisy kind of electronic kind of sound that you have with a lot of compressor-driven things. It's just a hum. And anyway, I've raved enough about them.
Yeah.
They're new to us. They're really cool. They're not cheap, but geez, they do the job really well.
That's good. And it's good to have a quality, like it's good to have a standalone quality brand that's manufacturing a heating and cooling option for tents that, you know, is going to be reliable and consistent like that. So
I should mention they come to run off 240 volt, but you can get an adapter to run it off of 12. It needs 48 volt to run, and they've got a booster to go from 12 to 48, which is an extra accessory. So it's a bit of an investment, but if you absolutely must have heating and cooling for camping because you camp in the extremes, these are great. Next one. Reversing camera, you did the video on this. I just chucked that in there because it's been popular.
They've literally been running out the door.
Yeah.
Like no word of a lie. And
this is Oricom reversing camera.
Oricom reversing camera. I reckon, I mean, I couldn't even take a guess at how many we sell a day, but they're so popular.
Yep.
So if you know somebody who might benefit from a reversing camera, whether they tow or not, just get it.
You could use it like
it on a normal car, just reversing out of your driveway. You can
use it at home. If you had a party and you're sitting at the back, just ring the bell and you can check your app and see who's standing at the front door.
100%. Like it doesn't have to be used for reversing. It's literally just a Bluetooth wireless camera.
Spying the kids.
You could 100% do that.
While you're not at home, see what the kids are doing.
No. It does need to be in range from your phone.
How far is in range?
Well, we've tested it to 60 meters, as in I was standing out in the car park and the camera was at the front counter. It was still working. But I don't know that you could set it up at home and like nick off to the shops and spy on your kids.
No, but I could just say I'm going to go to the shops and then just hide in the park over the road to see how long it takes before they put Netflix on.
Yeah, you could if you were that kind of parent and that motivated, you could 100% do it.
I wouldn't do that. All right, anyway, moving on.
They're a cool present.
Now, the next one I chucked in there, this is a more affordable option because some of the ones we talked about are quite expensive. But and I put this in there because I've been looking and talking about it for ages, buying a duffel bag because I'm in surf life saving and I want a semi-waterproof bag with shoulder straps. Cedar Summit do an awesome one. It's quite expensive. Caribee's Kokoda duffels, and I think you pointed this out to me, they've recently updated them to have shoulder straps.
Yeah.
So they're a waterproof fabric, water-resistant zip, but they've now got shoulder straps so you can wear them as a backpack, which is kind of what I need to carry.
You've done some different colours with them and everything.
And they're affordable, and they're one of those things that if you've got a friend who is into sports, maybe carts a bit of gear around, even if it's sporting gear, it might sit on a cricket oval or something in the rain on a rainy day, football, something like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's for surf because I carry wetsuits and all sorts of stuff for the kids and wet gear and towels and all of that. Really versatile bag to use for all of those scenarios. They have a few different styles, but just check out the Caribee duffel range.
Yeah.
And while we're on it, their backpack range as well. If you want to get someone a backpack, Caribee backpacks are really good value, really well equipped. They've got all the pockets and things that you might need and lots of different styles in the range.
JetBoil stoves are always going to be on our gift lists because they're just cool.
Yep.
And they're just so handy. And everybody I know who said get one, they've got one and they don't regret it.
Yeah. I've never got one, but I've been meaning to get one.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have one for, you just have one on hand, it's just one of those cool little products where you're like, oh, I wish I had this. And it's like, oh, yeah, I do.
Just need to boil some
so
water
even if you don't use it every day, it's just so good.
The Genesis stove or their base camp system is quite an expensive option. We've got a Black Friday deal on that at the moment, but they are really popular as well. So you're talking 2-burner stove that packs up to probably a third the size, quarter the size of a regular 2-burner stove. So you pay a lot more for it, but you get a really compact unit in that respect. Next, I threw FlexTail Pumps in there just because they're kind of cool. Like it's a pump, but if you bought someone just a pump, they go, oh, cool, it's a pump. But a FlexTail pump looks cool because they're also power banks and they're lights and they're not cheap. They're a cool little idea, lots of power out of a small, awesome looking little unit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they're also like if you know someone who's a motorcycle camper or a bicycle tourer or a hiker, they can be a really cool idea that people might not, especially people in those sort of categories, they might not justify getting it or purchasing it for themselves, but it's a really handy addition.
Yeah.
Like I know that when I actually bit the bullet and bought a little FlexTail pump, I won't take it for long trips, but it's made such a massive difference, especially when you need to pump up more than one mat when you're going hiking to just be like done in 5 seconds.
Yeah. You can use it to stoke a fire and
100%
uses as well.
Yeah. So many different uses.
And I threw this one in there because it's always been popular, especially around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And it's also quite affordable, but the Orbiter barbecue.
Yeah.
It's should we label it the poor man's Weber?
Yeah,
I suppose,
definitely.
Because it's probably about 1/10 the price of a Weber. Does it perform as well as the Weber? Sorry, I've just realised my phone is on vibrate.
That's okay.
It's a rookie error.
Do you know what? It probably would perform similarly, like in terms of barbecuing.
Just straight barbecuing. Yeah.
Sure. Hands down. But if you're someone who wants to cook roasts and things in your Weber, probably not the same.
Because the lid's just a thinner metal. Hasn't got that thick cast alloy.
I mean, you definitely could, but I'm not sure from a performance perspective if it would do the same thing as a Weber when it came to that side of things. But 100% from a barbecue perspective, lightweight portable barbecue, easy.
Yeah, and a step up from a 2-burner camp stove because you have got the lid on it. You can speed cooking up. Like it's always been popular. It used to be called the Voyager. Now it's called the Orbiter
because it had the upgrade in the gas connection.
The flame safe. So that's one that you can use in a caravan annex then because it has the flame safe device. So you get a hose that connects to a bayonet and that's then legal to use. Is that the case? I'm pretty sure.
It is legal to use because of the flame safety.
If you use a device attached to a caravan, it has to have a flame failure device.
Yes, but the issue is that it needs to be unregulated. It needs to have a regulated supply in order to plug it into a bayonet, which it does. So yes, with that Gasmate Orbiter, you can swap out the provided hose with a bayonet hose and connect it straight into your caravan gas.
So you connect it to a regulated caravan supply. It's got a flame out thing. So that's one that you can use there.
Yeah.
The others technically are not legal.
Yeah.
If they don't have that device. Other little things I just threw in at the end. Headlamps and torches are always a winner. If I was going to buy a headlamp, I'd recommend Petzl. They've got some that start around $30 or $40 for a Tiegear, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And you can get the Tiegear XP. There's a whole range. They've always been winners, the Petzl headlamp range. But in saying that, I know KickAss have got a new one that's like $15, and most KickAss products are worth
Actually
the product
pretty
that you
good,
spend for them. Then they're not. It's,
value
high
for money
performance,
is
but
crazy.
Great value for money.
The OZtrail have got a new little kids headlamp, which I thought was really cute.
A lot of their lighting is coming, and they got torches as well. I mentioned that too. Some OZtrail have got really affordable torches and headlamps. Yeah,
head torches are, in my personal opinion, they're always an excellent present.
Yep.
Always.
You can have an extra. No harm in having extras. One inside, one in the car, one in your camp kit. Always handy to have extras lying around. Black Diamond have got some as well. Ledlenser, more technical ones, but yeah, the affordable range, there'd be some in Black Diamond. OZtrail, really affordable. KickAss. Hardkorr have got some really good value
Hardkorr do
ones
have
as
some,
well.
yeah.
So anyway, big range on our website. Check it out. Now on KickAss, I've just written here KickAss things, because KickAss always have useful things. Like from
they do.
The
I'm
latest one is
a
Anderson to USB adapter thing. So you just plug it into your Anderson. I think is it Anderson?
It's
I think
Anderson input, and then you've got heaps of output.
USB outputs. Just kind of cool. There you go. That'd be quite useful. They've got a lithium charged vacuum sealer.
Which looks good. I can't wait to give that a test.
Yeah.
They're also their blower that I did a video on recently. That would be a really cool little present.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the wouldn't buy it, but if someone bought it for me, I'd probably use it all the time.
All the time. Yeah, 100%.
For things I don't necessarily even need to use it for, but just because I could.
Yeah.
It's a bit like having a really powerful torch and you just shine it to see how far down the road it'll go. One of those blowers is just like, I'm just going to walk around and
I don't need it, but if I had it, I would use it all the time.
I can stand this far away from those leaves and blow them away, and I'm not using any energy.
Totally.
So, yeah.
No, agreed.
I just put my phone on there's rookie error twice. It's vibrating. Our videographer's going to go, what is the noise? He doesn't like us making noise on the bench here.
Yeah, no, I was just having a quick look because I couldn't remember off the top of my head about that blower unit. But yeah, it's 70 on high, 70 meters per second, or on low, 20 meters per second. Like, it was really powerful. Recharges, takes 3 hours to recharge.
70 meters per second.
On high.
How do they measure that? Goes airflow.
The airflow out the end. I don't know. What's KickAss say, bro? I'm not a scientist. There would be some.
I reckon at 70 meters, you wouldn't be able to feel it.
Put at the beginning. I don't know. But when I did the video for it, I literally stood far away, like from, I reckon, maybe 6 or 7 meters away. And I was like, and you could, the fake plant downstairs was still like going like this, and I was so far away from it.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, I was surprised at how powerful it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, check out the KickAss stuff on our website. Bluetooth speakers and
even the little handheld vacuum cleaner. Like, there's just lots of cool little things.
They've got the cinema. That's a really good value. That cinema, I've got one of those.
Projector?
That projector that works really well for the price.
I've got one of those as well, and I was very surprised.
For the price.
Yeah, for the price, for sure. Yeah.
Last couple of things. Quest Air sofas have been really popular, just because they're a really comfortable seat to have in the campsite.
This really surprised me, because when we got them in, I know that we've talked about it before, and I was like, a couch. You sit on it and you're like, damn, this is actually
quite
really comfortable. Despite that, though, I was like, surely people don't want a couch when they're camping. Like, surely it's not.
Apparently they do.
Apparently they do. And I remember when we had Chris from Quest on with one of our podcasts, he was like, we did the prototype and we were like, oh, how much are people actually going to go for this? And it was all that people wanted to sit on when they had a barbecue at their house and stuff like that. And I was like, really? And really? Like, they literally, another thing that just walks out the door. The 3-seater, the 2-seater, the single.
And a footstool as well. Now, they are an inflatable product, so you got to put them on something that don't get punctured. As with all inflatable products, they can get a puncture, but the bladder inside is quite it's thicker than your average. It's not like a pool toy. It's far more than a pool toy. And the exterior fabric feels really nice and it's thick too. So it's quite well protected. And geez, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. They're a very cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one I chucked in here, feel free to add anything that you've thought of along the way.
I was going to add this.
So Companion are bringing out some really cool products now. And most recently there's something called, I guess they call it their Roam series, but there's a tap and a rinser. They're not the same product, two different products. So the tap is also Dometic's Go tap, which is a USB chargeable tap.
It's sort of similar to that, isn't it?
It's the same sort of thing. I haven't had a play with the
for anybody
Australian
who's
one.
curious, the Companion tap does fit to the Dometic water jug.
Okay, good one. So it's got a hose that comes off it, runs into a water jug. You put it on top, USB rechargeable, press a button, and you've got a little tap that you can fill your glass from. So it saves tipping stuff up or playing with clunky taps that screw into the bottom of jerry cans. You just put this on top, great for the kids. And they've also got this rinser, which I think is firstly good value, but works really well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the 12-volt showers that you would have, but it's just a hose.
It's a bit more jet powered, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's in the handle. So you could use it to shower, but you can also use it just to rinse down. I'm thinking like mountain bike. If you've been mountain biking and it's muddy, and before you pack your mountain bike, you're at the car.
It's a bit more what it's pitched for, right? Like, and also we're at the beach as well.
Rinse your feet just in a jerry can of water in the car, stick the hose in there, and you've got water on tap to rinse stuff off.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Like, I had a customer the other day who was calling up for an unrelated reason, but mentioned they'd bought the Roam. And they go to the beach and they're like, usually they have to carry a big jerry can, and they're like, with this one, the jerry can, and then they pressurize it then it sort of comes off. But they're like, with this one, they just have a soft bladder. So it's not this huge big thing in the back of their car. It's just this soft bladder of water that can just sit there. They like hang it up, put the thing in, and it's just significant, like reduces the overall pack size by like a quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be a great thing just to
cool
have
idea.
if you have a jerry can of water. And for myself, once again with surf, when we travelled, actually spent 4 months travelling, to have that and a bit of water in the back of the car, because there's not always taps in a lot of places you go. Just a little bit of water, rinse the feet, dry them off, and in the car without all the sand and everything in the car.
Yeah, and even just, if you want to go for a swim and you just don't want to be like super crusty, like you just want to just get a bit of such
USB
a cool idea.
rechargeable. I did a video on it. They work really well. 2 settings. It's not much that can go wrong with it. So.
The really cool thing about a lot of these USB rechargeable devices as well is that you can charge them while you're driving. So it's just some people are like, oh, but it's rechargeable. Yeah, it is, but you can just charge it while you're driving. So if you're traveling around, like for example, that trip that you did, something like the Roam, even though you might not be setting up for camp, you can charge that just in between your camp stops, and you never have to worry about a solar panel or a portable, like taking that out of an actual battery that you're using, because you can just do it while you're driving.
And that's exactly what we did. We had, I've got two or three hardwired USB things in the front, and then a 12-volt adapter to USB, and the kids had a wire going to 12-volt in the back. So we probably had 4 to 6 things plugged in while we're driving, charging, get to camp, they're all charged up.
Yeah.
Take a loop back to KickAss's, I can't think what it's called, but that adapter to 12-volt to USB adapter.
Yeah, totally.
Set that up. Suddenly you've got 6 USB things in the back. So you just need a little spot to like rest those things, plug them in, drive, they charge when you get to camp.
Totally.
So this, the lithium USB rechargeable things kind of revolutionized how we operate. Is that my phone or yours?
What are you actually doing?
Apparently my vibrate. Well, I don't know what I'm doing.
Because you got volume off, not vibrate off. Anyway, it doesn't matter, I guess.
There's only 3 options and I picked the wrong one 3 times. Anyway, sorry, Larry.
The other question that I have actually that just came to mind, because I don't know anything about it, but how much additional fuel do you reckon you'd use with charging a butt ton of devices when you drive?
I don't think.
Because isn't there something like if your alternator's working overtime because you're charging, then you would use more petrol or something? I don't know. I don't know anything about this. It was just a question that came up because I thought at some point I've heard somewhere that if your alternator's working harder, you're using more petrol.
Oh, there's probably something in that.
If you know anything about what I'm talking about, if it's right or not right, tell us. Because I'm curious.
My take on it would be that there's probably other things, unless you've worked on getting everything off your roof and making your car more aerodynamic, the amount of extra fuel you're going to use from charging some USB devices is probably nil. Second thing is you're probably charging from your auxiliary battery, which I guess is technically charging from it would have been open, depending on how your 12 volts set up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it depends what you're doing. I don't reckon it would make much difference, but really interested to hear other people's thoughts.
Mostly just curious, yeah.
That's all I had. Any other additions that you've got? Anything
not off
else
the
in your
top
wish
of my
list?
mind, no.
You make it really hard for me to work out what gift to buy. And if anyone wants to buy us a gift, just care of Ben and Lauren.
She loves enough, Ben.
92 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Oh, gosh.
I just ignored that one.
I didn't ignore it. I'm just moving on.
Okay. Cool. Anyway.
Send Ben a Christmas card because he's so lonely.
Oh, I'm not lonely. I've got friends at work, at home, and I have family. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Anyway, it's getting weird now. Let's wind this episode up. No, we haven't got an end of season date yet, but we'll wind up.
It will be soon. I think it's usually been 2 weeks before Christmas, like second week of December is usually our last episode. So we'll see.
We've got 2 or 3 more to go. And if you do want to get this gear from us for your friends or yourself for Christmas, get in now because soon that delivery time frame's it's very close already to
guaranteed delivery for Christmas for sure
or not. So jump online and order now. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Catch you later.